2016 was a monumental year for Americans, not only politically, but culturally as well. Many people, especially in Gen Z, still look back on 2016 with a deep sense of nostalgia. The nostalgia isn't always for the same thing, whether it's the revolutionary music, the historic sports moments.
The Cubs have finally won it all! The Cavaliers are NBA champions!
The beginning of the Trump era.
I am officially running for President of the United States.
Or the last of the Obama administration.
We will continue our journey forward and remind the world just why it is that we live in the greatest nation on earth. Thank you, America. God bless you.
Obama in 2008 to 2016 instituted perhaps the most progressive U.S. policies since FDR. For example, gay marriage was legalized, the Affordable Care Act was passed, and the U.S. helped create the Paris Climate Agreement in an effort to address climate change. These policies tended to be very popular with the general public. It goes without mention that his presidency was not without its own stains, as his drone bombing and aggressive immigration policies left a bad taste in many people's mouths. Regardless, Obama's favorability was often above 50%, and his policies in turn shaped an increasingly progressive culture. Or so we thought. The Me Too movement gained a lot of steam during this time period as a reckoning against lifelong perpetrators of sexual violence and misconduct. Powerful men like Louis C.K., Matt Lauer, and Harvey Weinstein faced severe repercussions after years of misconduct. However, like with any movement, cancel culture was also starting to be co-opted by people looking to be victims. As a result, the original message of this progressive culture shift started to receive a strong backlash from those who thought of them as performative virtue signalers.
There's no due process. If you're accused and you're a man, you're you're done.
This is Venezuela, Cuba. This is every third world banana republic. Let's not have due process. Let's not ask anybody any questions. Let's not have any chance to have a hearing. Let's just lynch him. Because when we get done lynching him, we'll be so pure. We'll feel so good.
I feel like it's incredibly patronizing for you to paint these questions this way, especially as a white man. I don't expect you to be able to understand what people of color are actually saying with regards to cancel Colbert. He has a history of making jokes.
Sorry, being a white man doesn't prevent me from being able to think and doesn't prevent me from being able to have reasoned perspectives on things.
Actors and actresses, athletes and Democrat politicians were in constant competition to prove who is the most woke and who is the biggest ally. Pronouns, gender designations, and cancel culture were significant daily talking points in the mainstream media.
Salma Hayek needs to get an education about that.
Right. I think a lot of celebrities don't really know what the word feminism actually means, and they're so afraid of it because it kind of comes across as us versus them. Yeah. And ultimately, I think whenever someone says that they are a feminist, suddenly they're kind of judged more harshly.
There are offensive things in life. There are insulting things in life. There are people who will say very incorrect or impolite things about you, politically incorrect things about you, very publicly, and in a way that you might feel very offended by. And you have to deal with that in life.
I think
you have
people
to deal
understand
with it.
that, but
while I believe the intentions behind most of these movements were good at their cores, the constantly changing performative hoops to jump through started to push more and more moderate Democrats and leftists to the right. In addition to this, many felt that one group in particular was being blamed for the country's issues: white men. While white women were often portrayed as seeking validation that they are not racist or homophobic, white men tended to receive the majority of societal shaming. To be fair, it was only decades ago when segregation was finally ended, and only years earlier had LGBTQ people been allowed to marry. While it's important to learn from mistakes others have made in the past, many felt as if they were being blamed for atrocities that they did not commit. Many white men, especially young white men, felt that this new society was making them bear the weight of crimes they did not commit.
Newton told us for every action is an equal and opposite reaction. So, if you are standstill and you start moving forward, actually something has to start moving backwards.
When Donald Trump stormed onto the election scene in early 2016, he began to grow a new audience that wasn't your typical Republican base. Not only was he gaining independent voter support, but he was also able to draw in many anti-establishment voters that had previously voted for Democrats. Angry, isolated, and often white men were quickly drawn to his no-shits-given style and felt that he spoke to their anger and frustration with the current establishment.
Because they asked me what I do, and I said, I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care.
Trump didn't care about offending people or using PC language, and many felt that he spoke to the common man that was no longer being represented. Hillary Clinton, his Democratic opponent, was seemingly the embodiment of the establishment he sought to destroy. When Trump took the debate stage with her, he would sling insults and make jokes like he was talking shit with his buddies on the golf course.
Because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet. Excuse me. My turn.
A lot of creators on YouTube have talked at length about Joe Rogan, Andrew Schultz, Theo Vaughn, and their sphere of influence that grew into a conservative propaganda machine. As more and more people have realized what a second Trump term looks like, the right-wing comedian space has received significant backlash. This backlash was encapsulated perfectly in Elephant Graveyard's newest viral video.
Dear Leader is a billionaire, but instead of running his own show, he's still partnered with the tech establishment. He and all the cultists are connected to the biggest corporations on Earth, but still they maintain a facade of being independent DIY artists. As we all know, Joe got in tight with the US regime and became the government's own comedy czar. The regime's comedy puppet dictator, like comedy Lukashenko. He's now literally an extension of the US government, but inside the reality of the mothership cult, he's still the anti-mainstream underdog. And obviously this makes no sense at all, but because all this is taking place inside an anti-reality simulacrum, it somehow just works.
While Rogan and his disciples continue to receive the majority of the public's anger, there is one podcast that I believe has slipped under the radar. Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. While they are much more subtle about their political leanings than most of the Rogan sphere, Matt and Shane have largely been responsible for what I believe to be a gradual red pilling of their audience. I believe there are three main reasons why McCusker and Gillis have not been grouped together with the other comics that help sell Trump's campaign to their massive audiences. The first, and obvious reason, is that they did not actually have Trump on their podcast for an interview like many others. Although they did platform one of Trump's eventual cabinet members, RFK Jr., aka Mr. Brainworm himself.
Which is like a form of a tapeworm that gets in your brain. He said it's dead. You know, it's not in there.
I believe another one of those reasons is that Shane and Matt are funnier podcasters than the rest of the Rogan sphere. They often can make a statement that offends the listener initially, but can have them doubled over laughing a few sentences later. This is a skill that has allowed Shane in particular to become one of the top-selling comedians in the world and to create his own sitcom, Tires. Matt is no schlub himself and has utilized their podcast fame to travel around the country on his own theater tour. The third reason, and the one I want to talk about today, is their ability to influence their audience politically without ever claiming a side.
What else happened this year? Big things that happened. We had, Donald Trump is still the president, and we'll see, man. I think his sizzle is starting to kind of fade. It's like, the quiet piggy, that was definitely him pushing himself up there in the headlines. Aside from that, it's like DJT's not hitting as hard as he used to. I think we're finally used to him. So he's got, a couple more years left. And I don't know. I think we're on the cusp. And I'm just bright-siding New Year's time horizon. I think we're on the cusp of finally, as a country, stepping out from under Trump's shadow, which has really, if you love him or hate him, whatever, but he has loomed over this country for a decade. As long as this podcast has been going on, which is crazy, 10 years, Trump has been just, a central fixture in the news. And I think he's going to fade, man. And it's like, as much as people love him or hate him, it's like, I honestly don't know what it's going to be like without the guy.
Matt recently addressed the MSSP audience during the 2025 recap, and it's what initially prompted me to make this video. To a new or recent listener of MSSP, this recap seems reasonable. He's not outwardly supporting Trump or what he has done in the first year of his presidency, nor is he criticizing it. It's clear from this video, and more of their content in the years since Trump's election, that they want to distance themselves from being affiliated with any political movement. My guess is that they've seen how unpopular Trump's policies have been, and they likely have seen the public backlash against the creators who more openly supported the current U.S. president. However, As someone who has listened to their podcast for years, I recognize these moves as a strategic backpedal away from the conservative ideologies that once consumed this podcast. And when I started to go back and listen to their old episodes starting in 2016, I began to realize the conversations between these two Philly comedians ran parallel to the red-pilled ideologies that gripped young, predominantly white men since 2016. This particularly interested me because I was, in fact, a young white male during this 10-year period, and I saw this effect in real time. Now, I'm not trying to lay the blame of an entire cultural shift on two dudes talking shit into a microphone, but I do think it's worth investigating how much of an impact they may have had and the lack of accountability for ideas they've pushed for years. If you don't believe me, listen to the difference in how they treated accusations against Biden and Trump.
Yeah, dude, watch Joe Biden.
Biden's a hound.
Watch Joe Biden creepy compilation.
Some of those chicks are hot, dude. Some of those young
they're
girls.
youngsters.
Some of those youngsters. Biden's got a good eye.
Oh yeah, Biden's probably he's probably a procurer.
For those hot dogs.
He might just get high on his own supply, dude.
Yeah.
No, he does not like hot dogs.
He likes young girls.
Yeah, I forgot
what
they're
are they called.
I think I know. I think they called in the memos. It was like walnuts. I think black chicks were walnuts in the memos. Swear to God. And I don't know what they call little girls. Hot dogs and I don't know. They're probably just call them
sweet cakes.
Sweet cakes, dude. Little
flapjacks.
Dude, you watch those videos, man. It is so fucking weird.
Yeah, all right.
And I would love to sit down. People are like, oh, come on, that was just like curated. And I'm like, you can definitely take words out of context. If some dude's like grabbing little kids and like, I mean, if you're like, hey, come here and like give a kid like a kiss on the head, I'm like, look, I'm not you're a politician. That's like 50% of the job is kissing fucking little kids, but like grabbing tits, dude. Like, and he's always like, when you watch him get a picture, he's always gets a little girl close to him every time. It's fucking weird.
He loves little girls.
Yeah, maybe he just really loves little girls. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's not a good look, dude. And I think that's going to come back.
You
to
think
haunt
Diamond
him.
Joe is a bit of a diddler?
He's something.
He's Diddler Joe.
I don't know, man.
Creepy Joe.
I would put it this way: if they're like, "Hey, you mind if you watch as your kid?" I'd be like, "No." I'd be like, I'd cancel my plans. I'd be like, "That's motherfuckers."
If he runs, he is running, but like if he gets through,
that's gonna look bad on him.
It's gonna be a
dude.
tough campaign defending yourself against pedophilia the entire time.
Especially like there's like some pretty there's
Trump,
some stuff on video.
100% the entire time be like, yeah, but you grab kids.
Yeah, dude. He'll call him Creepy Joe, dude.
Call, like,
as soon as he calls him Creepy Joe, it's over, dude.
The whole campaign.
And it's like you can see the footage. The footage is there to where it's like, it's like why even risk it on that? It's like,
and also it's like because Biden, the only way to fight back will be like, yeah, well, Donald Trump, like you like raped people.
Donald Trump, you raped
Donald Trump, you're a fucking rapist, dude. Shut up. Once you start like defending your own pedophilia by going on the offensive, you look like a maniac.
It's like, well,
no matter what, you're fucked. A pedophilia accusation.
Yeah, man.
You're in the fucking doghouse.
That's double doghouse, dude. My other uncle, we were on a job one time, and he started Joe Bidening a lady. He started smelling a lady's hair. I shouldn't be saying that. I shouldn't be on the air right now, dude.
Well, we don't know which
figure out
uncle.
which one. There's a ton of them. But yeah, he sort of
he Bidened a lady.
What do you think? That Joe Biden wants to fuck 9-year-olds?
Yes.
Yes.
Robert De Niro is also
you know what?
a pedophile.
Now that I think about it, yeah,
I came
probably.
here specifically to call Robert De Niro a pedophile in his backyard, dude. Dude, it's looking bad. Did you ever look into that?
No.
His niece. Well, Joe Biden did in fact molest children.
Yes.
You can't say he sexually did, but he definitely
it's on
bothered
video.
them. He bothered them to an extreme level,
Yeah,
which technically is molestation.
Definition of molestation, he's done that.
Yeah, he bothered kids immensely, which makes him a molester in the classical definition of the word.
Yeah, I mean, there's a montage. I've seen it.
Yeah, he's literally molesting kids.
Sean, do you have any insight into who Pedo Pete really is?
I mean, I've heard that it could be the president of the United States.
Yeah, you don't have
allegedly.
anything backing that up. Now you're throwing accusations at the president.
It's alleged.
Of being a pedophile.
Wait, is Pedo Pete coming from the Hunter Biden shit?
Yeah, that's his contact name in the phone.
There's a thing that says Pedo Pete and mom, allegedly, in the phone.
It's the family GC.
If I had to break it down, Trump and Biden both stand accused. I'm not saying they did it. It's a horrible thing to accuse somebody of, but they both do stand accused of rape, which -1. I'm not saying they did it. I mean, that'd be obviously -1 million. But if you get accused of it, I'm sorry, -1, you know? And here's the thing. You can take those accusations away And it's like, I definitely saw Biden sniff a little girl's hair on camera, multiple little girls, I believe. So -1, obviously. Trump was on the Epstein flight logs. And, we thought he just chilled with his staff. Apparently, we learned from Nick Bryant that, like, I don't even remember what he said, but he's like, he didn't chill with the staff. And we're like, all right, fuck. -1 Trump. Everything was cool, above board. Don't worry.
It's like Trump dog.
Yeah.
It's tough not to fucking point some fingers.
Huge question.
He got
mark.
killed while you were president.
Yeah.
And you were there. There's so many photos of them chilling.
Allegedly hung with his staff.
I know.
Allegedly hung with his staff.
The cope on Trump's innocent. The cope is fucking pretty intense. Yeah, he did go to the island and he just hung out with the staff, dude. The staff said that. Was the staff 12?
I know. Who knew John McAfee?
I think everyone was hanging out with the staff.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
The massagers. Yeah, the John McAfee was he was the one who allegedly was trying to bring it down. I don't know if that's just internet folklore. But yeah, turns out he was. It's funny to be taken down as a pedophile by a guy who's getting shit on like a neighboring island. Just being like, this isn't right. We gotta take this down. Yeah, dude, that shit. That was pretty. Well, here's the thing: they were never going to release it. That was like it became apparent. Like they're not fucking like, oh, those trillionaires.
Did you see him? Somebody brought it up at a meeting, and Trump was like, "Are you guys still talking about Epstein?" It's like, that's crazy. There's so much other stuff going on. I can't believe you're bringing up Epstein. Are you serious? God, get a life. You guys are obsessed with this shit. What the fuck? No one even cares. Yeah, it's so long ago. The guy killed himself and he was innocent. What the hell?
They're probably all sexually blackmailed. Like every single world leader probably has sexual blackmail.
The pilots were probably. They probably got the pilots that week. They're probably like, well, now you're gonna go.
Those letters were crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think Trump had swag like that back in the day?
I think he did have
hitting
swag.
up his boy. I don't know, man. That's like one of those ones that's so spot on that you're like, that'd be a genius to come up with that.
Yeah.
You're a beautiful enigma. May every day be a beautiful mystery for you, my friend. Stay mysterious.
If he wrote that, I'm done with him.
It's kind of, it is hyper swag. To just write a pedophile letter, be like, you're a beautiful little mystery.
You're a little secret. You're my secret.
Although those dudes, that's never mind.
I like that everyone's running with the Epstein thing now.
What do you mean?
They're just like, Trump's on the list. It's like, yeah, we all knew that.
Yeah.
The whole time.
We knew it. Although everyone was holding out hope that he was with the staff.
You could still be on the list and hang out with the staff, dude.
Yeah.
If you went and hung out with the staff, you're on the list.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I heard he was on the list, and I turned kind of a blind eye, where I was just kind of like,
nah.
I am by no means a staunch Biden supporter, and I too was rubbed the wrong way at times during some of his public interactions with kids. Is it fair to criticize him about this as you would with any public figure? Yes. Is it fair to label him as a child molester and to state that he wants to 9-year-olds? No. Is it even remotely fair to not only pin these accusations on Biden, but not even mention Trump's personal and documented friendship with a convicted child predator named Jeffrey Epstein? It took these 495 episodes to even publicly consider that maybe, just maybe, Donald Trump may be actually implicated in horrific crimes. This is the same man who has appeared at least 1 million times in the Epstein files, according to congressmen who have seen the unredacted files. For years, these two have turned a blind eye towards Trump's possible crimes, of which there are many, and have instead focused their messaging on mostly culture war topics.
You'd have to like go to all those marches and stuff.
I'm gonna fucking say a hot ass take. Also, most fucking gay people are like, fuck it. No, I can't do it. All right. Fuck it. Most fucking gay people are like mentally fucked.
From
like damaged.
Exactly.
Not all of them, but like, a lot of them became gay. The nature of don't listen to me trying to.
No. I know what you're saying. It's a traumatic road.
Something
to
happened.
emerge into the world as a gay guy. It's like it's a brain scrambler.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So now, like
definitely
after years of you and me calling them faggots growing up in the neighborhood. Now they're out in the world dating.
Word jump.
I literally, to be honest, I've never voted in my life. I don't read the news, and I don't give a fuck, honestly. I was telling Pedro this today. It's like...
But I think you probably give a fuck. You just don't
No,
like
I
to...
honestly...
I feel like you don't like to wade into
is
the
me
internet
to-
arguments, but you probably have... You really genuinely don't care?
No, like if I see in front of me, if I saw like a child like bleeding in the streets, I'd feel bad. If
Yeah.
I read in the news that they're gonna like say, like I was telling Pedro, if they ended gay marriage, I swear to God, I wouldn't care.
Okay, what about...
I just don't give a fuck. Like,
What about, like,
I win a liberal argument. I win a liberal argument, dude.
No, you
That's
do.
the fucking haymaker.
I just don't, but like I'm being honest. Like if I read that, I'd be like, huh. Okay. Like I wouldn't be like, this is ridiculous.
Oh, of course.
I don't unless as soon as something affects me personally, then I care.
So it's like...
I found this clip to be a perfect example of exactly what's wrong with the current average American today. If it doesn't affect me, then I don't really care. It's such a common opinion that it's really created an issue in society that we're starting to see culminate today. The lack of empathy, the general disinterest unless it impacts you, is the root cause of why we see so many people with terrible character and no morals rising to power in our current society.
Under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, the president has plenary authority. Stephen?
Like I said before, Matt and Shane are not without nuance to even their most extreme takes. While they both admit to their biases against gay people in earlier episodes of MSSP, there are moments of genuine pushback against narratives that you might typically think they would align with.
I don't think well, you're in a quagmire, no doubt, because it's like worshiping a god that hates gay people. Like I get that. That's one where we're like, all right, we need a fucking 2.0 reboot, dude.
Yeah.
We need to debug.
Well,
this.
I don't think Jesus said anything about gay people.
Jesus.
I'm fairly certain.
No, I don't think Jesus was
Jesus
pissed
was
off
on that
about
new
gay
test, and he was like,
whatever. He's like,
whatever,
whores, gay
Whores,
people,
chilling,
whores, theater kids, all the same thing.
While it's easy to point out flip-flopping opinions that Matt and Shane have had through the years, there is one hill that they will always die on. The same hill that has led so many white men in this country to want to make
our country great again.
There's definitely a white guilt industry. It's Whole Foods. Whole Foods.
It's not next. It's already there.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, go to Whole Foods, and that place is like, buy soap with like a little like dying African kid, and it's like, you can help him with like 2 cents to his village, and people are like, oh, good. It's just like this weird thing that if you can find a white person and make them feel less evil, you can be a rich man.
Black dudes to hit the catcalls, they can go hard.
Yeah, they'll catcall you.
They'll get you good.
That was also what was really funny to me during the whole catcall fucking phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, are we really gonna blame straight white guys for this one?
Yeah.
Can we for once not be the bad guys on this? I mean, if it's evil, it's white people's fault.
No doubt.
That's all you need to know about history.
9/11.
Well, look at that. Look at 9/11. It was clearly not white people who did that.
You don't think
But
so?
Every single person's like, yeah, I bet white people were behind this. I think I was just looking at this. It's like 56 white people. White male was the shooter. 16 black.
Okay.
Recently, since like 80 or recently. I don't want to go back to
DC Sniper
80s.
put up some numbers.
DC Sniper dropped some numbers.
Yeah.
But if you're just looking at shootings in America, and then it's like, well, why are we discriminating? Because it's like the victim's not like, oh man, even though I took a bullet through the chest, at least this guy didn't, at least he had an agenda.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. It's like, no, dude, these are people getting shot.
They totally separate.
And it's all like, look at what white men are doing.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, look at gun violence in America.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, they're different. They're different.
That's my take.
No,
I'll tell you what, I'm tired of white men getting blamed for things.
Dude, it was crazy. And I was like, so why does the moral clock start at the 1600s? First of all, you don't think that's a little convenient and weird? I mean, if you're trying to blame everything on fucking white people, it makes sense to start the moral clock at like, and then in 1600s, evil took over the world. And it's like,
before
wow,
the
dude.
1600s, things were great.
Even if I do not always share the opinions that they express, I can always imagine one of my childhood buddies saying the exact same thing as Matt or Shane. This is actually what initially got me into watching the show. Like my conversations with friends, I never felt that Matt or Shane actually meant the vile things that they would sometimes say. They were just dudes being dudes and shooting the shit. However, as I've gotten older, the edgy and controversial opinions seem less and less like jokes, and more like real opinions masked in a thick layer of irony and humor. While Matt is less subtle about his political and societal leanings, both of them use heavy sarcasm and irony at all times, so you can never really pin down what they exactly believe. They've sat on the fence with their feet dangling in MAGA's front yard for so long that they forgot that Trump dog tends to bite if you stay too long. Now that the policies and ideologies that they have embraced for the past decade are the new reality, they have largely withdrawn into more moderate positions and have started to reluctantly push back on some of the more unpopular Trump policies. People like Matt and Shane exist everywhere. In fact, you probably feel like you know someone just like them in your life. As long as they can wrap their argument in irony and in humor, they can never be taken seriously enough to offend, but their message still gets across. This makes it easy for them to fend off any allegations of being racist or sexist or even homophobic. Chill bro, it's not that deep, becomes gospel. While others may defend it as unserious banter, I believe that with the massive audience that these two have, they should be held just as accountable as someone like Andrew Schultz or Joe Rogan. And now that Trump has gained power, the counterculture that once fueled this podcast has slowly just become American culture. The so-called culture war is likely over, and MSSP is on the side of the victors. So my question is, what comes next for the podcast? I know I've spent a lot of time talking about the critiques I've had for the show, but there's a reason that me and so many others still listen to these dudes talk on a mic for years. They are both talented comedians, and I think that they'll both continue to have successful careers. However, I think the days of Matt and Shane's secret podcasts are dwindling. Shane rarely has time to join the pod anymore, and Matt tries to fill time with mostly unpopular episodes with random guests. Even when they are together, they no longer have the magic they once seemed to have. And unfortunately, it may just be time to close the book on Matt and Shane's secret podcast. Thanks for listening.
Captivum solve